Welcome back, guys. We have a special episode of MicTalks today. Our first special guest, running back sensation out of high school, NC State former player, and now a player on the Indianapolis Colts. Today we have Trent Pennix. It's a special one. He's a unique player, and I think his story is quite unique as well. Can't wait to dive deep in with this with you guys. His story is great. Me and Mike are gonna ask him some in-depth questions, kind of get to know him a little better, his journey, and all it took to get to the level he was at NC State and the level he's at now, and then what it took to get there. So let's get into it with Trent Pennix.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you been? How's NFL life treating you?
I just honestly just working, man. Like really just taking every day at a time, cause that's literally what it is. I got called back on the 1st of October, and days later got cut. Then they told me to stay in town, so I was still in that hotel. Then that Monday they signed me back. So that goes to show like how crazy this business really is. Like it ain't as sweet as people may think it is. You really, especially if you're not a drafted person or like drafted the first 3 rounds, like I mean, you pretty much like your job's still on hold. Like you gotta figure out for yourself, pretty much earning a spot every day too, being on the practice squad. So you make those reps your game day reps because I mean that's all you got. That's really your chance to show these coaches and the GM like what you got.
Absolutely. I'm glad we started off with that, but I really want to go back to kind of the beginning. We're gonna go right into high school. I played
Mm.
against you. I hated playing against you a lot.
Yeah.
Um, I want to start off with what did your recruiting look like from high school? When did you start getting offers? Who was the first school that kind of offered you?
So after my sophomore year, I think it was really that's when I switched over to quarterback. 'Cause Justin Dunn got hurt, and we had all them injuries and stuff going on. So I was just trying to be versatile and really just trying to be available, do what I got to do. And then Coach Colt said he asked me, he was like, it was already me and Justin. I was his backup, just in case if anything happened. I was doing reps at quarterback during camp, doing all that stuff. And then I started doing good that whole season. That's really when I started taking the ball and like I don't know, like that's really when it started. I just realized I just need the ball. I can really make anything shake. So especially at the quarterback position, because everything is at like your hand. So uh, that took off, and then after that season, I remember I was at Aleem's crib. We was just talking, like we was hanging out, and I got a call from Coach Washington from Boston College, and he offered me and Aleem both right there. My very first scholarship. I don't know if about Aleem's scholarship, but like with me, that was my very first one, and so like that was just I don't know, like that was really my stepping stone in for it to be an ACC school. That kind of made me realize, all right, you got the talent, you got the talent, so like just take this thing and run. And so I remember going in the junior year. That's when I switched back to receiver. And then also our running back got hurt. That's really when my running back career took off, right then and there. And I had a great season, had 1,000 yard season, and for it to be on the back end of the season, I ended up having 1,000 yards. We ended up making history. I think that year we made probably the first playoffs. We lost to Mallet Creek, or not Mallet Creek, Middle Creek. And then senior year, um, after that junior year, that's when my offers. I mean, I started getting ECU probably because I committed before my senior year. So before my senior year, I was already committed to state. But like that whole junior year process, like that's when calls was like coming in and out, in and out, in and out. Probably got up to around 21. offers and went about one official visit. That was really NC State. I ain't really going on. I was trying to go to Minnesota, but it was just a timing thing because Coach PJ Fleck. I mean, yeah, Fleck. It's Fleck, right? PJ Fleck.
I
I
don't
think
know.
so. Uh, nah, but he like him and his whole coaching staff. Like I really wanted to be a part of it, but it was just a matter of distance, and it was like all the way in Minnesota. But I mean, they had a great program. He's a great guy, great coaching staff. But I just knew that when I started getting interest at NC State, that's when I started like me and Aline, we was talking about constantly talking about recruitment all the time, and constantly talking to schools as they coming in and out of like pulling me out of class. I gotta talk to a coach and whatnot. So it's like uh, uh, I say once Coach Doran called me, that's where I really realized that well, all the people that I'm meeting now, that like I started meeting Peyton Wilson. I've been known Thayer Thomas. I know that I've been known the whole family ever since like we was playing AU ball. So I've been close with them and Mr. Trevor and what you call that's when I started meeting Devin Leary with our official visit when I guess it was all the commits. And we saw like we had some guys like we had Ricky, DC, Chris Dunn, Gabe Gonzalez. Like we had Jalen Strickland. We had a really good class. Malik Dunlap and all them boys. Like so we knew. I was like, man, I might as well take this opportunity because I mean I'm close to home. Like so I could be home whenever I want. I can see my family and whatnot. So I was like, let's go to NC State, and then that ended up staying home and continue play for the Pack for like 6 years. Yeah.
Okay. Did they do anything? I know a lot of schools try to do a plethora of things to try to get recruits to come in. Did State do anything for you that other schools didn't that made you kind of ultimately choose to go there?
No, not really. A lot of like all the schools during that visit process is like obviously they're trying to get you in the film room. Doing pretty much all the schools are doing the same, but it's just something I felt about NC State, staying home and just the fan base and going to the games and knowing what it's like to play uh, at Carter Finley Stadium. So I just knew it was gonna be like a dream come true. Really, just staying home and coming out to them fireworks, like knowing that you grew up as an NC State fan. You was like a little 9 year old sitting in the stands, and then now you're in a Wolfpack uniform, still the same stadium and whatnot. I remember seeing the same seat. I was sitting there when I was 9 years old, and it's right by the tunnel. So it's just crazy, like how time really flies. Like from going to 9 years old and now what 25, 24 going on 25. So yeah, man.
What if you can recall, which I'm sure you can, your first feeling when you ran out of that tunnel on game day, the first game day you ran out of there. What was that like?
It was like a dream. It was literally like a movie. It was like, wow, man. Like, I remember I used to stand on the side when I was a recruit, courting them coming out, and now I'm coming out in the uniform. Like I was just saying, like coming out that tunnel, running out the smoke. It's like a different. Everything is different once you're in those pads and in that moment. It's like, wow. I ain't gonna lie, the fog is a little crazy though, because I low key can't see sometimes, especially at night games. Or at night games, it'll be like, bro, I can't see y'all ODing a little bit on the smoke. I'm over there feeling my way. That's why I can't really sprint out through the smoke. I gotta wait till after I clear the smoke so I can see where I'm going. So I don't run into the statue. That's really what I'm looking for. But yeah, it was just, and then hearing this, like going out, seeing the fans, it's just, especially on the pack prime time game. It don't even matter like if it's home or away. Like it's just coming out knowing you like this is the Division 1 football. This is where it's at. It don't get any better than this. So
On the flip side, um, what did it feel like doing it your last time? No, because I know I have nothing to compare to it. I did high school and then I teetered off, but it still hit me hard. How did it feel knowing that that was your last time playing at state?
Uh, you talking about senior night or the bowl game?
Senior night, last game
Yeah,
at
senior.
Carter Finley.
Yeah, yeah, the senior night, I was definitely emotional. I remember coming out. I was running down. They called my name, and I see my parents, and then give my mom a kiss, and give my dad a big hug, and it was just like a moment that like it's a once in a lifetime moment, literally. So you don't really get that back. Once that happens, it's like that's how you know, like if you know the reason why I got emotional is just knowing what I've been through, like the past 6 years, injuries, not playing, whatnot. And it's just like I just persevered and just fought through it. I could have had chances where I wanted to transfer, but I didn't. I just stuck with it, trust the process. So it's like I just all the emotions really came out that night, and it's just like knowing that this is my last time playing in front of Wolfpack Nation, like the fans that have supported me literally for 6 years, that there are people that have supported me that I don't even know, which is crazy. That shows to how how big of a network NC State really is, and really the process, the whole college football thing, like it really builds a big network where it builds relationships past football. Like it's gonna be more than football, more than it's gonna be like it's gonna end up being people you never know that might end up in your wedding someday. So it's just you never know what kind of bridge you're building with just this network alone. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but you mentioned it, transferring. With all the NIL deals, bigger schools, and possible ring chasing to win the national championship, what made you
mm,
stay there? You said trust the process. You said you wanted to be there, the family aspect. But why stay there when you could go get big NIL money deals, go make some money, go possibly win a national championship? Why would you choose to stay at NC State?
yeah, it's just man, I don't know. It's I knew it's something in my head just told me to just stay here. Like something's gonna happen, but it's only a matter of timing. Who we get and whatnot. And the thing is, I never even really had even contacted other schools or whatnot, trying to look away because I knew if I would, like took away my attention of the main goal, which was trying to personally get to the NFL, but also win games, like play for my teammates, like win natties, try to go get the best bowl game we can, try to get the playoffs. And it's just like I knew that we had the players to do so. We just had to really, at the end of the day, it's our, like I think it was 3 years ago, and Coach Doran said that we had the pen, so we can, because we're the ones that's on the field, nobody else. So we control what's going on out there. We got the pen to write the story, and we're gonna determine how the story plays out. If we wanted to have a happy ending or a sad ending, like we have the control that we live. Well, that's one of our pillars: control what you can control. So like we can only do that. And I mean, just looking at what we did the last 3 years is seeing what we broke records, and it's really the teams that would never really be playing again, like ever again on that field. So it's just it's nothing but memories that I know that I had great memories, and just knowing that if I would have transferred, the thing is, the transfer portal ain't really that simple. Like people may think it's sweet when you transfer, yeah, you're gonna get all this, but are you gonna are you gonna end up playing? Like your goal is to get to the NFL, right? So like you can transfer, you can get all this money, but are you gonna play though? Are you on your second to last year? If you're not playing, I mean, who knows if you're getting looked at or not? So I mean, that's why I just trusted the process. I knew the plan that these coaches had for me at NC State was to use me in any kind of way they needed. So I just did that, and that's really my skill set. I'm a versatile guy, so you really can plug me in anywhere. Special teams, plug me in the running back, fullback, tight end, split me out as a receiver, have me running post routes and whatnot. It's just remarkable how like my body can do all this at the size I am, and just tr- at the end of the day, just trust in the process and don't really like get tempted in what other people is trying to do to distract you from your main goal, which is, I mean, hopefully everybody's football goal is to get to the NFL someday. So yeah.
Yeah, you were saying how we use versatility on the offense, and you're a really unique player in that way. how you can run the ball as a running back route, catch a pass against 6'2" linebacker as a tight end. That's very unique. You were a unit on special teams. You recorded several tackles. How does that change your like idea of the game, your in-depth knowledge, and do you think that helped you kind of get to where you are now in the NFL, kind of just understand the
Yeah,
game at a better level?
yeah, it really keeps you on your toes. Like I remember going in as a running back, you only getting certain things you that are really telling you what to do. So it's not like really a tight end where you gotta if you're a tight end, you gotta study it conceptually. You gotta study it as a receiver, as a running back, because you can really be placed anywhere on the field because you're probably the second most important person on the field. You really don't nobody really gives the tight end enough recognition as it should give,
Hell yeah,
as
hell
they
yeah.
should. But at the end of the day, like the tight end position is super important. Just how versatile that position has to be, and so I just know that. I mean, it keep it like learning how to run routes against different coverages. If it's man, do you keep going? If it's zone, do you sit in a little hole? Do you sit in a hole and wait? It's just based giving you knowledge of reading the fronts. Do you do a triple block? Do you do a trade block? Do you do ace? Do you reach them or do you cut them off? It's just learning different terminologies, like switching around different position rooms, giving you different knowledges and aspects of uh, different perspectives of different positions of why this route happened so that that route can happen. Like you might not really understand the route that you're running. Like if you're running like a flat route, you don't really get the ball and it seems like a boring route. Just know that you're opening up a window. You're drawing coverage and whatnot. So it's just a cool thing to see. Like now I understand what how it is to be really a quarterback in this of this level, especially up here. Like the plays are longer. You got to play, and then you got to check play connected to it, and like just based on coverage, you got to remember both plays because there could be two or three plays in one play. You literally have to remember all of them just in case if a coverage happens, you got to check it or kill it something else. So it's just crazy.
I like. He's going to ask you something really quick, but I like how you mentioned the play call. I know you've seen the
Yeah.
video of Tua doing an interview, recalling a play, and he's like, "All right, see if you guys can do it." What does a play call look like at state? Whether it's a real play call or you making it up, how long is that really, and how quick do you have to understand that from play call to actually executing?
Yeah, like I mean, like college you use signals. So college, everything really happens because a lot of teams want to have high tempo. So you have signals like jet, jet, jet. That means tempo, tempo, tempo. Like that means hurry up and here's a play. There's have like different tempo plays will be like jaguar or whale, and whale will mean the whole concept. People would know. It'll be a like a flood concept that would represent whale, and then people would know to line up here and run a flood concept or whatnot. So it's just that's it keeps you on your toes. That's really why you got to stay in the film room and on your P's and Q's literally every day. Really staying in the playbook so you really know because it happens. The thing is, practice everything is a little slower and a little slower pace. But in the game, when real live bullets are happening, like that's it's like you're in war. So like you gotta think, do what's when stuff breaks loose, when adversity hits, like what you gonna do? Are you gonna forget what your assignment, or are you gonna do what you gotta do? So it really shows how fast the game gets, and especially in this level, it's more detail oriented. So you got to remember a lot of key details of certain plays, uh, and then if you don't, all it takes is one person not doing their job, and you can see all over the league like one person messes up one play and they could turn into a disaster just like that in 1 second. So yeah,
Yeah, talking about that transition from NC State to the NFL now, what's like one of the biggest adjustments you kind of had to go through and kind of adapt fast to?
I would say like I mean you this is big boy world like you in the real world now. So and that's really not even just the NFL, just in life. Like anybody after college, once you leave college, you're in the real world. So this when bills, taxes, everything is coming into play at its finest at this point too. So my transition is just realizing like these are grown men. This is actually a job. Like you can easily get it taken away no matter what. So that's why I go back to saying like every day you gotta be in your P's and Q's and make sure you're doing your things on the daily to take care of what you need to take care of so you can stay in this building. So uh you seen guys like you grew up watching. Like I grew up watching Joe Flacco, and it's crazy taking handoffs and catching passes from him now. So it's just it's weird, and it's weird, but it's also a cool thing at the same time. Like you looking up to these people, and you're starting to see why they're in the league for so long, and just seeing the passes Joe Flacco makes in practices. It's like bro, he just makes it seem so easy because I mean he's been doing this. It's his job to do this. So and you see once a lot of people how you see these people take care of their bodies, where they invest in themselves to perform on Sundays is out of this world. And I remember Quentin Nelson said yesterday. He said the most expensive investment can be on your body, and like it shouldn't matter. Like you should want to invest in your body, and like it's never really too expensive unless you make it expensive. So you just gotta really take it. That's at the end of the day, take care of your body. Your job is to take care of what you need to take care of: the film, your body, and your mental. So that was really the biggest transition that I realized. Like I mean, especially me being on my own, and I just got my first crib, so being on my own, this is my first time really living on my own with no roommate. So it's a big, and on top of that, I'm out of North Carolina, so I'm up here in Indianapolis. So being here far from home by myself is a big adaptation, but I'm making it work as well. Staying in contact with my people, so yeah.
Absolutely. I'm glad we actually talked about the NFL. What was the kind of the process leading up to you getting that call, and how quick was the turnaround from you being here in Raleigh, moving all the way over there? How quick was that for you to getting to sign that contract?
Yeah, so it it just happened so quick where so I got cut in August after the Denver game. Got cut. It came home to Raleigh. I mean, for a good maybe month or two, just under 2 months. And on the first, they called me. No, on the 31st, the 30th, they called me, and it was like 8 o'clock. I remember my agent called me. He said, "Hey, like you good? How you feeling?" Da, da, da. I was like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm ready. What's up?" And he said, "All right, the Colts want to sign you back at so they want to sign you back first thing in the morning." I was like, first thing. So the people at the Colts, they called me. They told me, all right, we're gonna get you a flight first thing the next day. So the first get up. Well, first of all, I didn't even go to sleep because I had to wash everything. I had to pack. That's how quick this whole thing happens. Like you can get a call late at night, and then next you know you're in the next city in less than 12 hours. So it's just really, and then after I got cut the second time, thank God they told me to stay here because they brought me back 3 days later, and then, um, uh, and I just really been this one. I just got settled now, so it just shows how quick this whole thing can really happen, and you literally at any time as well. So you can. The thing is, I've seen different types of people, different players every single week since I've been here the last 30, and it's a different team every Tuesday. So that is a fact from what my college coaches were warning a lot of people about. Like there are like, teams change literally every single week. There's people coming in and working out uh, every single week. So that's why you really got to be on your P's and Q's. So.
Awesome. What what has been the biggest? Obviously, it's higher tempo. But what's the biggest difference in terms of just the practice from college to NFL? Just for people that have no idea what's going on.
Honestly, I'll say it's really the exact same. It's just more you focusing on more details. Like we're not. we're not moving on until we get this play right. And it's um, you do your scripted plays, and because you want to also take care of your players, you don't want to run too much plays, and where you're like tiring your starters out, and you want to protect them, you want to savor them, but also keep them fresh on what to do on Sunday. So it's just um uh, uh yeah.
Cool, man. Now, you go ahead. You got it.
Okay, so I kind of want to talk about adversity a little bit. It seems like you dealt with some injuries through college, going in the NFL, getting cut, like you said, and the next day getting called saying you're on the team. What's like a moment from your career that like through adversity that you were taught like a real good lesson that you kind of keep moving on and keep learning from that lesson and that you use to this day?
I would say when I fractured my scapula against ECU, that brought me out like almost the whole season. It gave me like a reality check that I mean, like you even thankful, like bro, you fractured your scapula. You lucky to even be playing, coming back and playing against Virginia Tech, and it's just showing me like this what the game, this what you sign up for. It comes with the game, but at the same time, take care of your body. Like know when to take a hit, know when not to take a hit, unnecessary hit. If you can easily just avoid a hit and live you. I mean, bro, like my my problem was I was trying to be macho man, so I kept trying to run it and boom everybody. So that gave me a reality check. Well, bro, you ain't gotta even we'll watch film, man. My coach is like, bro, like you ain't gotta hit everything you see. Like I was like, hey man, I mean we got the pads on. Like this is what the game is for. So I was like, well, yeah, you're right at the same time because I do be putting my body at risk every play. So I mean, at the same time, it ain't nothing wrong with thumping a little bit. Like it's what the sport is for. So like I did see what he was saying because I would try to make unnecessary hits and then next you know I fractured my scapula and I was like, all right, bro, like I come back, I ain't taking no more unnecessary hits. Fine. If I know when I need to know when to truck and when not to truck, when to make a move, when to just go out of bounds, man. And so
Now,
yeah, I still yeah.
oh, what I was gonna say is, dealing with these injuries. I had one in high school, which ultimately ended my whole kind of football career. Whenever you're having these injuries, how do you know when that injury is gonna stop you, or when to keep going, even though that could happen again, if not worse, causing you plenty of issues down the line?
That's when it comes to like trusting your sources, trusting the people to help, like your dietitian, your trainers, your sports med people, constantly being in touch with them because they know a lot of different techniques and science that can help your body heal faster and stronger. So just trusting the process with them, trusting their teaching, whatever they're teaching us, what to do with our body, what to put in our body to help uh, uh, like I think Natalie from NC State, she helped me. Her the trainers at NC State as well. Joe always being there for me, like just taking care of my like making sure I'm doing my rehab, always on it on the daily, so, just so it's healing faster and stronger, and put and Coach Thunder and the strength on it as well. And it's just you really got to value your resources when it comes to that kind of aspect of doing rehab and knowing when an injury happens, if you're going to be able to come back or not. Like I was told when Justin, our trainer at State, he called me, he said, "Yeah, you fractured your scapula, looking at 4 to 6 weeks," and it's like, all right. In my case, it kind of took a little longer, but I still was able to come back for like a couple games. But I didn't finish the season, but I played like 2 full games. It was Virginia Tech and Wake Forest. I tried to play UNC, that didn't work, and I was like, just rest the bowl game so I can finish my last year healthy. And for the most part, that happened until the Duke game where my ankle got caught up at a high ankle sprain, and it's like, bro, and thank God we had a bye week that following week, and we was cool. And then I think I had to miss the Clemson game, so missed only one game last year, and then came back from Miami, and then finished the rest of the season. So like you really know, like if you really trust the process, you value your resources, taking care of what you got to do, only control what you can control. Uh, you really know where you can only determine how bad your injury is, really. So
On
unless you physically can't do it anymore, then that's something I personally never experienced. Praying, I don't, but I just know something that you can control. You can only control what you.
Yeah. On the topic of injuries, and you said recovery, hopefully you haven't seen it, but if you have, I'd like to know the difference between the rehab and the taking care of your body, difference from NFL to college. What do those facilities look like? How long are you in those areas, and what consists of that?
Yeah, so I mean, you got players. I mean, we use the facility. It's really the same thing. Your facilities look the exact same from college and the NFL. It's just, I mean, you just see the more hours invested from an NFL aspect, like the the training room is constantly flooded. So like you see like players constantly in there working on their bodies, doing what they got to do. Like this morning, I was in there. And today's off day, and it's still a lot of people in the weight room, training room, like just working on their bodies for practice tomorrow. So, I'm over there foam rolling, stretching on the normal text, getting my body right, and you just see uh, also, the money aspect of it, like these places, they can afford massages outside of the facility, so they can go invest their body in a massage or do what they got to do, get in a tub, sauna somewhere else, or out of the facility. That's when it comes to using your money and investing in yourself. Because your body is a business, especially in this kind of business, so you got to invest in your business to take care of your business. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad we actually got to talk about that because I mean a lot of people don't get to see uh, that aspect of NFL players or any professional athlete for that matter. All they see is what happens on Sunday. They don't. You
Yeah.
obviously see videos of practice, but nobody knows in the outside world what really goes into practice and what comes out on Sunday.
No. And the thing is, like, people don't know how, like, especially on the injury aspect, nobody knows how the hours somebody really spends in that training room. They being there from the time it opens, after practice, between classes, any chance they get, like going in that training room, and that's what I had to. I remember doing that in college, like when I had more freedom to do what I want, I'll always go back and do some treatment. If something bothering me, go get cut, needle, do what I gotta do. And it was just that's what it just comes back to just using your sources and taking care of your body at the end of the day.
All right, man. What was we're getting more into the NFL. Now you've obviously said that for the longest time you've wanted to play in the NFL. My first question is, when did you realize that? Obviously, that starts at a young age. You're looking at NFL teams, you're like, oh, I want to do that. When was that for you? When was your moment of, that's what I want to do with my life?
I realized when um really in high school when I started going crazy when I started playing running back and just really scoring, like just making all these plays and realizing, I mean, I'm up against guys like Dexter Lawrence back in high school, going against these guys that are still in the league now, playing against them in high school, Naheem Hines and all them, like it just showed that, yeah, I mean, this is something I want to do, like I mean, it's gonna come with a risk. I mean, putting your body at risk. But at the end of the day, I've been playing this since I was 6 years old. Like I've been on both sides of the ball, so I know how it feels to play on both sides of the ball. It's just at the end of the day, it's a fun sport. It gets your aggression out. If you got any kind of anger, you can take it out over here in a safe environment, somewhat a safe environment. And it's like I don't know. It's just yeah.
I mean, hey, so I'm gonna do a little backtracking. You said Joe Flacco, right? You grew up
Mm.
watching these players. What was that like for you when you arrived at the facility, seeing these people that you've seen on TV for years on end? What went through your head? What was your thoughts? Were you nervous? What was going through your head?
It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, I was just walking in and I saw Joe. I was like, whoa. I was like, it was Joe Flacco, man. That's crazy. And I'm taking handoffs from him. I was like, and I'm catching balls from him, and it's like I was like, man, like he has a perfect touch to it too. It's not fast beaming and whatnot. He just gives the right touch it needs based off distance and a kind of throw he has to. But you could obviously tell he's been doing this like most of his life. And when I saw him, it's like, oh, this is crazy. But at the same time, I wasn't really nervous because like we're co-workers at the end of the day. We're co-workers. We gotta work together. We gotta play together. So I'm not gonna sit here and just be starstruck. Like at the end of the day, we trying to win the Super Bowl, so we gotta get each other right. We gotta make each other better. At the end of the day, he's just learning off him and just seeing what he does and uh, going based off his techniques and whatnot. Just it's just crazy how like it's really a dream to reality situation. So
I really do think it's kind of surreal. I grew up watching Tom Brady, and I always had a dream of playing with him, but obviously it's not going to happen. I'm not playing,
He's gone.
whatever. He's gone too. Um, so it is very surreal, especially I saw him play. I was on the top seat in the Panther Stadium watching them play the Bucks, and it was surreal just seeing him down that far away. Um, I guess the hardest part for me is how do you adjust to that? I get it, your coworkers, I get that, but you have been watching a veteran quarterback, and now you're alongside him, being coworkers, trying to fight for NFL history. How do you get
uh,
used to that?
I don't know. It's just just constantly coming in and just doing because every practice we do running back tracks with the quarterback, so we work on handoffs and whatnot with them. And it's just I just admire it and just get used to. I mean, just gotta end up playing with him. So I remember last week I caught yeah he, tried to catch a pass from him and it's it's just like bro I'm really catching balls from Joe Flacco. It's just I at the like in my head I'm like screaming like it's like whoa. But like on the outside it's like I gotta like keep my composure because I know that also I know I'm not the only one that thinks that too. The only rookie that definitely I know I'm not the only one. But it's just cool just knowing that you're playing with a soon to be Hall of Famer. So and the thing is he's still doing the same thing he was when he was with the Ravens. So it's just like last week he's making passes off his back foot, but it's just like perfect touch. I'm like, whoa.
Okay. What would you say the difference was with a college quarterback to NFL quarterback? Obviously, he, like you said, he's a future Hall of Famer. What the velocity of the ball, the timing, like whenever you run a curl route, what is that difference?
The difference is like, I mean, in college you get more of a heat ball because everything is so pressured and whatnot. Just in a moment, but in the NFL, like the quarterback always has a plan. He knows when he's going to give a touch pass or bullet pass. There's a slant ball and he needs to get in the window. He's going to beam it in there. Like that's the thing with these quarterbacks. They know when to give the perfect touch in any kind of situation. If it's a long ball, put it just over the top, over your shoulder, where only you can get it. Like it's just you can see that in the accuracy as well, pinpoint accuracy. Joe Flacco is like I say probably the most accurate person I've ever seen throw a ball in my life. So yeah, and now also AR is accurate. Like all these quarterbacks in the league, you see the accuracy of like now you see why they're the starting quarterback. Now you see why they're a quarterback in the NFL. It's like, bro,
You mentioned AR, which is the most badass nickname I think I've ever heard for a quarterback. Uh, do you have a nickname yet, or are you just kind of floating and seeing how the shit
I'm
goes?
just Pennix right now. So I mean, I don't care. That's fine with me.
No,
So
yeah.
I've been called Pennix pretty my whole life. So, but I'm trying to get a TP nickname.
Okay,
They can
okay.
get because I got called TP a little bit at NC State by my trainers and whatnot. So yeah, I'll see how it plays off.
Who would you say? Who would you say your biggest? I guess role model on the Colts that you've looked up to, that you've been with, and that you enjoyed being around with to kind of find your way in the NFL?
I would say Jonathan Taylor. Like this man, he's been in the league going on year 4 or 5, one of those years. But just as I first seen him, he's a great person ever since the day I first met JT. Came up to me, shook my hand, and when we was warming up, man, he's a good person to be around, especially and then once I started knowing the other running backs as well, it's a really great group of guys, and seeing what JT does as a leader in the room, everybody looks up to him, follows him, and learn from him as well as he's teaching us different techniques, teaching me different techniques as well, and you can really it really is a family vibe in that room as well as Coach Smith. We really have a really good foundation in that room as well. So I would say like just seeing Jonathan Taylor doing what he does. Like when I was in camp, seeing how fast he is, how shifty he is, I was like, man, it's crazy. Like now we're in the same room and we can really work together and try to go make history. So go win some games and bring some Super Bowls back here in Indy. So.
You talked about how your room's a brotherhood. I'm sure it was kind of similar in NC State, but is the locker room dynamic different with constant rotation in the NFL being like in and out, players leaving, players coming? How would you say the locker room difference as a whole is between college and now?
I said the locker room. I mean, you get those same vibes. Like that's really the locker room is really literally the locker room, regardless of who's in there. Everybody's always in there having a great time because that's really at the end of the day our private space. Like that's how we. That's really where we connect the most is in that locker room. And uh, just, I mean, yeah, you see somebody like I know people see my locker empty one day, and then full back the next day, and then empty it again, full the next day, and it's you really see, well that you don't have how that's the only difference between college and football. I mean, college and the league, because obviously, yeah, you're gonna have transfers and whatnot, but the locker room in the NFL constantly changing. You see nameplates empty almost every other day, so you just gotta, yeah. That's really the big difference between the college and the NFL.
What do you? Obviously, you don't have that much free time. You explained that a lot of your free time and every NFL player's free time is taking care of your body. Um, you mentioned Aleem. I've seen his stories and what he's been doing. I've seen Dexter Lawrence. Again, we played against him in high school. There was what do you do in your free time? The little that you get for your own enjoyment and to keep you grounded, making this huge transition to another state.
Yeah, so I mean, just after I'm done doing what I gotta do football wise, I come home and really try to well really take care of what I gotta take care of over here, and then go out and I'm really finding new places to eat because that's really been on my mission lately. Trying to find new spots to eat at. Really just trying to. I'm still trying to explore Indy because I haven't really been here super long enough to really know what really goes on over here. So I kind of missed the fair because it was during camp, so I didn't get a chance to go and experience that. And um, yeah, really. And then once I get some free time, I'll come in here, play the game, that's really what I be doing. Play the game whenever I have some free time. Either that or taking a long nap.
Oh yeah, I bet. I bet you're tired, man. That's day in and day
Cause
out.
like on Wednesdays, I be in those meetings like fighting because it's I don't know it's I don't know. I remember, but in college, waking up at 4:45 and whatnot. That is, I say that is also a difference in league as well. You get a little bit more time to sleep in.
Okay,
It's not
so
like college.
no, you go ahead, finish that.
Oh, I tell you, it's not like you in college waking up at 5 o'clock, 4:45 or whatnot. So
I was about to ask, what is the difference? Obviously, we're in the season between that training camp schedule and then in season schedule for you. What's that difference for
but
you?
that the just not being at the facility all day. For real, for real. Because I remember camp, you being in there. I will go in there probably 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then you probably leaving at 7 in the afternoon. But in college, you're there from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it's longer in college, and I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you doing your camp stuff. You're pretty much doing the same thing you do in the league and college. It's just the league is more, all right, like we do our work. You got to do what you got to do. And I mean, I don't know. It's just, I really don't know why they make it shorter. It's just, I mean, we do the same exact thing. I'm just glad it's shorter because I'm not trying to be there at like 10 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Okay. It obviously everyone has that one team that they want to play against. Um,
mm,
First off, what was your dream team? You could, from a kid, what team did you kind of want to go to?
I'll say used to be the Panthers, but then I mean, my dad, he was a Cowboys fan, and I'm pretty sure he still be looking at. I know he saw that butt whooping he took the other day,
Oh, yeah.
so because Aleem, yeah, Aleem and them, whew. But he even texted me about it too. But I mean, it was either between the Panthers or the Cowboys growing up. But now, I mean, recently I didn't really have a team unless it was just the guys that my boys were playing on, like the Lions, the Panthers for Icky. I mean, Naheem going all over the place now the Browns. Like, yeah, so
What
really
team do
just
you really want to play against? What do you want your first NFL touchdown to be? If you could
the
plan it
line.
perfectly.
I say the Lions.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's why because we actually played them. The Lions come to us in about a few weeks. So I told Liam, I was like, yeah, man, I hope I don't get activated, man. 'Cause I get activated, it's gonna be a problem, man. I was like, but it's also a good time. Like you got two best friends playing against each other in the league, so it's gonna be literally a dream come true at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
it's just a cool experience, and then obviously, hopefully, I get a jersey after. So yeah,
I'm thinking it will happen. You guys are best friends. You guys
yeah,
have been for a while.
gotta get a jersey.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad we got to have these conversations. Justin, do you have any other questions that you really want to get out of them?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to ask about your like routine. You said more hours on your body, more hours in film room. Did your routine change from college to now? Like, do you try to do the same thing or just
Uh,
elevate?
Really, yeah, really just doing the same thing and also using now you're getting paid. So trying to find places around here that does massages, cryo tanks or whatnot, trying to take care of my body even more, just investing even more money so you can get the better outcome of it. But yeah, just spending hours still looking at film, being on my iPad all the time, looking at plays, staying in the playbook. Even though you're on practice squad, you still gotta have your head buried in this play because anything can happen from one day. Like you can be practice squad one day and then get activated next day. So you constantly got to stay on the game plan, looking at the iPad, not even just looking at the weekly game plan, like whole overall game plan, just by any means, so you can stay fresh on it. So just in case you do get that call,
Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready, huh?
yeah, gotta stay ready. So you ain't gotta get ready.
All right, man. Well, we're trying to do this at the end of every podcast. If you've watched it, you haven't, great. You're a busy guy. If you had a jumbotron of your face and every single person that wants to be an athlete was watching it in the world, what is something that you tell them that you want them to know to be successful at each and every next level? How do you reach the top?
I would say just stay on your grind. Do not let nothing else or anybody distract you from your goal. If you have a mission, it's gonna plan out. Keep your faith in God, and He will literally direct everything. Like, He has a plan. It might not happen on your timing, but it's gonna happen. He's always on time, and He's gonna happen when He feels like it's ready. So I'm a living witness. So many things doesn't happen to me, But all you gotta do is stay with the process, trust the people that's been in your circle, don't burn your bridges because you never know who you come into contact with, and you never know who can take care of you later on in the long run after football or any kind of sport after your career is over with and what any kind of profession you do. So I just want to tell everybody just like trust the process and literally do not quit because who knows how close you are from achieving what you need to. And also, you can only control what you can control. Don't try to be extraordinary. Only do what you're meant to do. So if you don't try to do anybody else's job, don't do anything else that you don't usually do. Stay with your process. Ask God to keep giving you strength and help you throughout your way, and then the rest will play itself out.
That was beautiful, man. I really appreciate you saying that. Again, I really appreciate you coming out, everybody. It was Trent Pennix, running back for the Colts. I really appreciate you giving the time of day. I know you're really busy to come out here and talk to us. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you did.
I'll do it. It's been an honor, man.
I really appreciate it. And if you guys are new, hit the subscribe button below. We're going to try to get out some more people soon. But yeah, really enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. All
Sure, thank you.
right, man.
I remember the street lights on the corner by the park. We used to stay and drink past midnight till the sunrise, talking shit, couple kids. We were friends that turned to lovers. Yeah, we fell into each other, but our love burned out like
Oh, my bad.